Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now if this is your first time here, I'm happy that you are here. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you guys won't miss any video when I post them. Now today in this tutorial I'll teach you how to draft a basic bodice top for a knit and a woven fabric. Now I get a lot of requests of drafting this top, right, for woven and for knit. Now to be honest, let me tell you something. I don't like too much of difficult sewing. I like easy and quick. So I always come up with something very easy, right, that would fit better and fit properly and could work for both knit and for both woven fabric. Now I only draft one pattern, right? Now if I draft in a dress pattern, it would work for me for both knit and woven because I don't like too much of difficult sewing, right? I don't able changing pattern and cutting this pattern, and that is too much of work. Me never do all that. So what I do, I draft my pattern to my body measurement, and then if I want to sew a woven dress, it work for that. If I want to sew a knit dress, the one pattern that I have and the body measurement I drafted to, it work for that because my pattern drafting draft to my body measurement that could work with any fabric. That's why in my pattern drafting I teach you to draft the pattern to your body measurement so that it can work with any fabric. So you don't have to go back and lessen your pattern or take out so much out of your pattern, so much inches, or add so much inches. No. What I'm going to show you here to draft is that whatever fabric you want to sew from this pattern, it could work for any fabric. Stretch, woven, non-stretch, whatever fabric you want to use. Right now this is a bodice pattern I'm going to show you how to draft. And I'm going to show you how to do it with the dart, right, because I get a request for that. So as I say, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Tamara of Tamara Fashion Style, and before further ado, let's get into the tools we will need to draft this pattern. Let's get started. Now the first thing we're going to need for start drafting this pattern, any pattern you want to start drafting, first of all, you have to get your measurement, right? Excuse me. So we're gonna take some measurement. I have my mannequin here, which I'm going to use for demonstrate to you for the measurement that we will need to draft this pattern. Now to get a good fit in your pattern, I always advise draft your pattern to your body measurement. Then we're gonna add some seam allowance to these measurements. So let's get started with the measurement that we will need to draft this bodice block. Now the first measurement you will need, always make sure to put on a proper bra. The bra you intend to wear this dress with, put that on. Now, put it on so that you can get the best measurement possible. Then you're going to take your full waist measurement, which is by your natural waistline. Now everybody so different because some people say that your waist there to your belly button, which is not so. Not everybody waist to the belly button because my waist is not to my belly button. So we're gonna take the measurement. So the first thing we're gonna do, I'm going to use this to demonstrate for you and show you guys what you need to do. So this is the mannequin I have here. So I'm going to take this mannequin and I'm going to wrap it around her bust, right away around her back, and I'm going to take her measurement. Now whatever measurement you get, look at this this mannequin. You see the tape is not dropped down, right? Let me just turn it, let you guys see. You have to hold the tape firm, so you see the tape have to be right up. Don't drop it down. The tape have to be right up around your back. Don't slacken the tape because you won't get the best measurement. So make sure the tape is firm in the back and it stays up. Don't drop the tape down like this because you won't get the right measurement for your garments. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take her measurement. So let's go ahead and let's take her measurement. So we're gonna put the measuring tape around her bust. and we're gonna measure like this. Now whatever measurement you get, let me just fix this tape. You're gonna measure like this, the fullest part of the bust. Make sure it passes over the 2 bust points. Whatever measurement you get, you write that measurement down. The second measurement we're gonna need the waist measurement. Now whatever measurement you get, you write that down. Then we're gonna need the hip measurement. So we're gonna take the tape, the measuring tape, and we're gonna put it around the fullest part of the hip. So the fullest part of the hip, you turn it and you see it there on the body, the buttock side. So the fullest part of the hip you need, so we're gonna write that measurement down. Whatever measurement you get, write that measurement down. The next measurement we're gonna need from the shoulder to the bust point, right where your bust nipple is. We're gonna need that measurement. You write that measurement down. Then, if you have a full bust, right? Because for instance, some people who have full bust, like okay, the bust more larger than the waist and the hip. Now, some people who measure like seamstress, some seamstress, not all, they will just pull the measuring tape straight down to the waist like this, right? When you finish now, here you got all this, the hair so tight because you see they didn't walk the measuring tape. So if you have a big bust and you just pull the measuring tape straight down like this, your clothes, when you go to raise up, it won't got enough room to raise up, right? For you to stand up properly. It would be tight between here. So what you need to do for people with large bust, you walk the measuring tape from the shoulder over to the bust point, and then you walk the measuring tape right under to the bust, so you can get that extra fabric, so that when you put the dress on, it fits properly. And then you walk it to the waist measurement, right? So whatever measurement you get, you write that down. So we would need from the shoulder to the bust, and then from the shoulder to the waist measurement. So walk the measuring tape, walk it, so that you can get the extra fabric. Next, what we're gonna need the front shoulder. So whatever measurement you get, write that down. You're gonna need the back shoulder as well. So you're gonna measure like this, and whatever measurement you get, write that down. Now the next thing we're gonna need the length of the back from shoulder to the waist. So right from shoulder to waist, whatever measurement you get, you write that down. Then we take already from shoulder to waist, you write that down. Just showing you back, make sure you walk the measuring tape. The next measurement we're gonna need how far from your shoulder to, from your neck bone here, from the shoulder tip by your neck here, right at your edge of your shoulder here, to your shoulder bone right here. Whatever measurement you get from here to here, write that down. Then we're gonna need to draft to add the dart to the bodice. We're gonna need the measurement from between here to here. So what you're gonna do, right where your bust nipple is, right, you feel the part your bust nipple is, we call it the apex or the bust point. Right where the nipple is, you just find the nipple and you place the measuring tape here, and whatever to the other nipple. So you'd have this span between here. So place the measuring tape at one bust nipple to the other bust nipple, or the bust point, or the apex, whatever you call it. I prefer to use bust point or bust nipple because you're going to more understand. And whatever measurement you get, you write that down. That is the measurement we will be dividing to make the dart. Right? So you're going to need that measurement. You're going to need the hip measurement. Now, the next measurement we're going to need it from the waist to the hip. Now whatever measurement you get, you write that down. Right? So this is the measurement we will need to draft this pattern. So I hope you understand and you get all the gist of this, what I'm trying to show you. If you don't understand, pause the video, rewind it, and go back so that you can see how to measure yourself properly. So put the bra on that you use to measure, what you want to wear this top with, and put on a proper and firm bra so that you can get the right measurement so that we can draft this top. So let's get into the tools we will need to draft this top. Yes, so the tools, the notion you would need and the item you would need to draft this pattern, sorry, you would need some paper, you would need a straight ruler, a curve ruler. This is the armhole curve, this is the yardstick. You would need a hip curve ruler, a paper scissors, a marker, a measuring tape, and of course your measurement. So let's get into the drafting of this pattern. So I will move this aside from here, and we would roll out this paper. Now we will fold this paper in half. The reason why we will fold this paper in half, because we're drafting both the front and the back of the top one time. Right, so we need to fold this paper in half. So you'd fold it in half, and then we would cut this paper. We would cut that paper. So you're gonna get a piece of paper like this, a long piece of paper, and we're gonna fold it in half. Now the reason why we're folding this paper in half is because we're gonna draft both the back and the front one time. So we're gonna flip the paper like this. So we have the paper on a fold, right? But we are not drafting on the floor, on the fold. We would be drafting two single pieces, but we're drafting both the back and the front one time. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna get your paper, let me move this thing aside, and you're gonna fold it in half, and then we're gonna draft this top. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get this ruler, and we're gonna draw in a 2-inch line from the edge of the paper like this. We want the top, the center front to the top to be straight. You want it to be straight, so you're going to draw it in like this. Now from the top of this paper here, we're going to draw in a 2-inch line. You're going to measure down 2 inches, 2 inches, and then we're going to connect this line. Now this line going to act as we shoulder line. So this would be our shoulder line. Right? Now from the shoulder line, remember we measure the bust measurement and the waist measurement. So from this line here, we're going to take it from the shoulder line, and we're going to get the bust measurement, which is 10 inches. But I also need so the bust measurement, which is 10 inches, which I'm going to measure down 10 inches and plus ½ inch, because I need a dart to my bust, under my bust, right? So you can make it 11, you can make it 10. So let's go down 11 inches. It depends on where your bust measurement, bust length reach. Then from the shoulder, right, you measure down your 11 inches. I will measure down because I need a dart there as well. And we're going to connect these lines. Now from the shoulder line, you're going to measure down to your waist, which is 16. My own is 16. I measure down, and I'm going to connect these lines. So now I have to get so this is the shoulder, this is the bust, and this is the waist. Now we need the hip measurement, which we measure from the waist to the hip. Now my hip measurement is 9 inches, so we're gonna measure down 9 inches. And you're gonna connect those lines. Now we need to get the measurement from here to here. That's from, remember we do the from waist to bust. Now we need to get the across front, which is between here where your top would sit nicely for the armhole come and curve. So for do that, what we will do, we will measure here, put a measuring tape like this, and then we will fold the measuring tape back to get a perfect measurement. Fold it back to this line, and then we will connect it. So fold the measuring tape back, and whatever you get, you mark it. Whatever you get, you mark it. Do the same thing here. Bring the measuring tape here. Whatever you get, fold back the measuring tape on the line, and you put a mark. And then you connect these lines. That marking supposed to be 5 and something. For me, your own would be more. Let's see. Right, 5.5 inches. Good. So between here and between here, fold the measuring tape back to get the right measurement. So now what we're going to do, we're going to divide some measurement. Now remember, we take the shoulder measurement across the shoulder front, and then we take the shoulder back. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the shoulder measurement here. So for my shoulder measurement, it was 15 inches, and I'm going to divide that by 2 inches. So I'm going to put 7.5 inches here on this line here. Right? So I'm going to put a mark, 7.5 inches. Now your shoulder measurement could be 15, it could be 16, it could be 17, it could be 10, it could be 11. Whatever you get when you measure from one shoulder to the next shoulder across your back or your front, divide that measurement by 2, right? And you put the measurement here, whatever you divide it, and you left it. If it's 7.5, 8.5, or whatever, put it on this line here. Now for the across front measurement, we would need this across front measurement, right? So we would need this. Now to get this across front measurement, let me just demonstrate on a piece of pattern paper I have here. Now we're looking, this is the shoulder measurement we're talking about right here. This is the shoulder measurement. Let me just zoom in, you guys can see. If you guys can see this. Right, so I will use this paper, this portion, as a demonstration. So what we need when you're talking about the across shoulder is from this shoulder to this shoulder we need. So you take your measuring tape, because some of you might can't remember, from one shoulder bone to the next shoulder bone, and whatever you get, you measure it. From the back, you could use it from one shoulder bone across the neck to the next shoulder bone. Now the across front what we're talking about is from this shoulder to under the armhole here. That is over the bust. You see right apart this top hazel land right here. We got to get this span here so that the top could fit us. So we need this measurement here. So all you have to do is take your measuring tape from one underarm to the next underarm, and whatever measurement you get, divide that by 2, right? So that's the measurement we will need, the across front, which is across here. So one under the armhole to the next armhole, and whatever measurement you get, you divide it. So now I'm going to divide this by 2. This from one armhole to this armhole, my own is 14 inches. So I'm going to divide that by 2. So we'll go back onto the line, and we're going to divide that by 2, right? So this, which is this measurement. So I'm going to put 7 inches, which is here. So I put my mark in there. That is to help form the armhole. So now this here is the bust measurement. Remember, we take the fullest part of the bust from round the back right round to the bust front. So whatever measurement is that, we're going to divide that by 4. So that measurement for me is 37 inches. So my measurement is 37 inches, and I'm going to divide that by 4 inches, which would give me 9.25 inches, which I will drop onto the bust line, which is 9.25, and I'm going to put that here. So you see it don't start to form my armhole. Now my waist measurement is the fullest part of the waist, right? Remember, we wrap the measuring tape right away around the waist. Whatever measurement you get, you divide that by 4. So my own is 34 inches, and I'm going to divide that by 4, which would left me with 8.5, which I'm going to put on this line here. I'm going to put it on this line here, which would left me with 8.5. So I'm going to put my 8.5 right here. Now the hip measurement, remember we take the fullest part of the hip, right? It's from around here. The fullest part of the hip that we take. Remember we take the fullest part of the hip, right? Let me just bring this in where you can see. So remember we take the fullest part, we wrap the measuring tape right around here and come right back to the front. So this area here is the fullest part of the hip. Make sure the measuring tape pass around your bottom here. Make sure you done the highest part of your bottom, and then you bring it right away around to the hip, and whatever measurement you get, you divide that by 4 inches. So we're gonna go and we're gonna divide that now by 4 inches. We're gonna put it on to the hip line, right? So we're gonna get our measuring tape and we're gonna divide that by 4. So the hip measurement I'm working with is 46, but I'm making it 47 just before, just in case you pick up weight, so you can always have an extra. So I work with a 47 hip measurement, and I'll divide that by 4, which would leave me 11 3/4, right? 11.75. So I'm working with 11 3/4 inch hip measurement, which would land here, right? Now, since we don't put our marking, now before we draw in all these lines here, we need to put some remember we have the bust area. We have the bust area where we have to put the dart, right? And then we have the waist area for put the dart. Now we have to find the waist. Let's see, from the shoulder, this is the waist. So we're gonna mark the waist area. So we have the waist, right? We have the bust, we have the across front, we have the shoulder, and we have the hip, right? So now for the waist measurement, remember we have the dart for the waist measurement. So the waist measurement we have here is 8.5, plus we have to add 1 inches to that. So from here, from this waist measurement, we're gonna go out 1 inches. Because remember we have the dart we have to bring in. So go out from the where your waist measurement stop, 1 inches, right? So we have that. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna connect all these lines here. So now you're gonna get your armhole curve, which is this, and we're gonna connect this. But before we connect this line, we need to measure down 1.5 inches here. So we'll measure down 1.5 inches from the shoulder marking, the 7.5 inches. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna measure from this shoulder tip neckline to see if it's 7.5 inches. If it's not, adjust it to suit, right? So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get our curve rule and we're gonna connect from this line to this line and then this line. So you're gonna hold it like this. Make sure all match up properly. You see how my own matching up? Bring it in so that it can match up properly. Make sure all 3D marking match up. So this would be your armhole, right? Now from the armhole, here is where the hip curve come in. You're gonna get your hip curve and you're gonna curve it like this. So this here, we're going to the waist. Now I am not straight. Now some people will just draw you down just so straight because you're square. They want you to draw your top square. So I am not square, so I'm going to curve my waist measurement, which I'm going to use this inside of the ruler. I'm going to curve my waist measurement. So my waist measurement would connect to this line here, right? It would connect to that line. So now when you get that, now you see you get connected there. So from this line here, now this is the bust, this is the waist. So we connect from bust to waist, right? So from this line we're gonna do the hip line. So we're gonna flip our ruler now and use the outside of the curve, and we're gonna connect it to the hip line. So we're gonna connect this to the hip line. So make sure it's 11 3/4 inches you have here, right? So we're gonna connect that. So now you see our top beginning to shape up properly. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna measure the neckline. So for the neckline, remember I do a measurement from the neck here, right? Let me just bring in the camera a little to show you what we're talking about. Remember I do a measurement from her neck here, right, to this shoulder bone here. This is the measurement we're looking for right here. From the neck to the shoulder, we're looking for that measurement. Now my own is 4.5 inches, which I'm going to measure, right? 4.5 inches from here. I'm going to measure 4.5 inches from this mark in here. Let me just put back the camera, you guys can see. So I am measuring the 4.5 inches from this line here up here. So I'm going to take my measuring tape, 4.5 inches from right here, and I'm going to put a mark here, right here. Put a mark in here. Now I'm going to get my ruler and I'm going to connect this line to form the shoulder line. So like that. Next, what we're going to do, you got to know how low you want your neckline to be. I don't like my neckline too low. I'll put my neckline like, let's say 5 inches to 4.5 inches. The most some people do 3.5. Let's do 3.5 inches. So we do 3.5 inches for the front, right, which this would be the front. And then we'll do 1 inch for the back. So measure up measure down 1 inches from the shoulder line for the back, and mark BK, and 3.5 inches down for the front. So now what we're gonna do for the back, we're gonna curve it this way. So you're gonna place your ruler like this, and we curve in the back. So this would be the back, right? Now for the front, we will hold the flip the ruler, and we will turn it this way, like this. Now we need to draw out a guideline for the front, because the front neckline would be different to the back. So we need to draw out a guideline, and then we're going to connect from the shoulder to this guideline right here. Alright, make sure you do it neat. So this would be the front, would be lower, and the back would be higher. Now to do the dart for the bodice, remember we take the measurement from this bust line, right? Remember we take the measurement from this bust line here. Let me just zoom in. Remember we take the measurement from this bust point here, right? Remember we take the measurement from one bust nipple to the next bust nipple. So we need this measurement here. So whatever measurement you get, you write it down. My own is 8 inches. So 8 inches divided by 2 is 4 inches, right? So on the waistline, I'm going to measure out 4 inches. 4 inches, you put it on the waistline. Good. So on the waistline, we're going to measure out 4 inches, because the bust span for me from one nipple to the next nipple is 8 inches. So I'm going to measure on the waistline 4 inches because we're dividing that by 2 inches. By 2. Sorry, we're going to divide 8 by 2 would give us 4. Right, so I need 4 inches, which I'm going to place here on the waistline. Right, so I need that from the waistline. Forget the measurement. And then I'm going to place 4 inches on the bust line as well. Measure out 4 inches like this. And then we're going to measure down from here to here. I don't like my dart too long. I like it stopped somewhere about 10. So we're going to measure out 4 inches in the bottom as well. So we're measuring out 4 inches. Right? So now from this here, we're going to measure down 1 inch from the 4 inches point. Measure down 1 inches. And then on this waistline, we're going to measure 1/2 inch on each side. So we're going to measure 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. And we're going to connect those measurements. So we're going to draw the line in. We're going to draw in this line. And then we're going to connect this dart. Connect one dart. Then we're going to connect it back down to this. And then we're going to connect. Connect. And then we're going to connect back to this dart here. So that's how you get your dart for your bodice. Now, what we're gonna do, forget the bust dart. The bust dart has to be facing this dart here. So what we're gonna do, somewhere around this area, get the measurement for this, for around here. For around this area, we're gonna get the measurement for around here. Measure it. My own is 11, right? So somewhere around this area here, you're gonna measure up from this line here. Measure up about, because we don't want the dart right, sometimes the dart end up quite here, right? It depends upon where your dart is, right? It depends upon how much. So for me, I always have this gap between here with this measurement here. So what I do, I would measure somewhere between here, put a mark. Like, let me see how much measurement we have here. This is 6.5 inches. So we will divide that by 2. Right, 6.5 inches divided 2 is 3.25. So we look for 3.25 inches somewhere between here. Because we don't want it to stitch here. Right? So let's come down 3.5 inches between here, because here is where I have this gap, right? Some of you may have it higher, but I have this gap. I would take it out from here because I don't want it quite here. I don't want me bust by measuring down quite there. So from there, I would draw a line to this bust point here 1 inches away. So you put where you measure up 1 inches, which is here, and you come and you measure. Reach that line there. So you're going to come and you're going to connect back there. Now, so we draw in a 3.25 inch line to touch this line here. So this is going to come and connect back here. Right? So now on either side you put 1/2 inch. Remember we measured down 11. So you put 1/2 inch on either side. On either side. And now we're going to connect this dart. So we're going to connect, because here is where I have the more full, the more gap fabric. Right? So you see I get my dart for this and my dart for that. Now this how I draft my top and it work properly. Right? Now this is the hip and this is what the top look like. Now we need to add some seam allowance on this top. So we're gonna add some seam allowance. I always add 5/8 seam allowance to a 1 inch seam allowance so I could get enough fabric to play with. I'm going to show you how we will do this, right? So for me, I'm going to put 5/8 seam allowance right away room. I like to work with a 5/8 seam allowance right away wrong. So we're gonna measure that right away wrong. Measure your seam allowance, or 3/4, or how much ever you want. You could add an inch. It's up to you. You measure it. Same thing with the armhole. I always like to work with a 5" seam allowance, 5/8, sorry. But the neck, we're going to do a different thing for the neck. We're working with all that for the neck, right? So we're going to come. So we're going to come now, and we're going to connect. 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 And you connect in your lines. So now I'm going to just eyeball this, and I'm going to intersect all these marking I make to connect it. Do the same thing with the shoulder line. I'm going to eyeball it. So for the neck now, we just add in a 1/2" seam allowance for the neck. So just go up like a 1/2" seam allowance, because we don't want too much just seam allowance in the neck. So we'll just add a 1/2". So you come and we will add a 1/2" as well for the back, right? So now if you want a zipper in your back, it's up to you, right? Now for me, I don't add zipper allowance to my back because I have a deep sink in my back, and anytime I add extra for get the zipper, I always end up with a lot of fabric gathering up in between here. So I just leave it without adding any zipper to it. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut out these two top. We're gonna cut out these two top, but before we're gonna transfer these marking. So we're gonna transfer this marking here. Transfer the marking. So we're gonna transfer all this marking here. So this is the back. So all these marking here, we're gonna transfer. The dart, we're gonna transfer the dart. Well, the back dart, I have to draw a little bigger, so we will leave the back dart out still. So we're gonna cut out these two top. So we're gonna cut. I don't put allowance on my top because my 9 inches, I don't like my top too long. But if you want to, you can add 2 inches to the bottom of your top. Add 2 inches for the allowance for the bottom of your top if you want it longer. Or add how much ever inches you want to the bottom. If you want 2 inches before you cut it out, just add the 2 inches from this line, and you go and you draw in the 2 inches. So that would be your allowance. So when you fold it up, it would be this, the finished measurement. But I don't need that because I have enough. I don't like my top too long. So we're gonna cut out, and the first one we're gonna cut out is the back. We're gonna cut the back out, and remember we cut in the 1/2 inch out. Right. So this would be the back, and what we have to do now is draw in the neck so we can cut down the front neckline. Alright? I'm gonna draw in the front neckline so that we can cut it down as well. So this is the front neckline. We're drawing it in. Trace the front neckline. Trace everything. Here's the front neckline, and then we're gonna lift this and we're gonna cut the front neckline, or we could leave this as the back. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut the front neckline. So this is the back, and this would be the front neckline. So we will cut down the front neckline. Now we're gonna cut this down. Now we're cutting the front on a fold, or if you want put button in your front, you can leave this, right? If you want put a button in your front, all you have to do is just cut out the neck to suit here. So you'd end up with this lapel, and you cut 2 pieces of front, so the lapel would come and lap over that, and you put your button wherever you want to do it. If you want your button, you put your button in your front. But in this case, we are not doing that. I just show you how to do the dart. In the next video, next time, I will show you how to do a button lapel. So this is what you will get. So we will cut this down. So this top here would work for both woven and knit fabric. All my pattern I draft is could work with any material. We're going to cut this out, and I'm going to show you why. So this is the front of the top, right? So you mark bodice front. Bodice front. Cut one on fold. Right. So this would be the front, so this would be placing on the fold of the fabric. So we put this aside. So now we have to get the back of this. Remember, we transfer all the darts, so we have to get back all these marking for this top. So we will put back the waistline. Look for the bust line, see where it is. Bust line, yeah, cross front line, you put in all back the same way how it's supposed to be. All right, then we have the hip line. Now for the dart would be the same thing, the 4 inches out from here, from this section, 4 inches out. This is for the back, 4 inches out. Let me see how long this dart is. 9 3/8. So we come down 1 inch here, and then we need 1 inch. We come down here. 9 3/8 would drop here. So we're measuring out 4 inches right here. So now we're gonna measure down 1 inch from here, same way. 1 inch as you come down, the same way, or sometimes you leave it and you go up. If you want, you come down, but for me, I going straight up because my back have a kind of sink. So I coming up here, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna measure out 3/4 inches now for this, because your back have a big sink. My own have a big sink, right? So I'm going to come out 3/4 inches, 3/4 inches, and I'm going to connect this dart. I'm going to connect, and I'm going to connect, and here I get my dart. Now if you want to put a zip in the back, just add a 1 inch piece here. Just add a 1 inch more before you cut it out. Add 1 inch measurement, 1 inch or a 2 inch, and you leave the zipper allowance. Now I don't need to do that because I have a lot of sink in my back, right? So this is the front and this is your back. So this is the across front, across back. This is the bust. This is the waist. Label it, and this is the hip. So you would know, right? Shoulder. Shoulder. So this is what the two top we end up with. So match them back and make sure they match up. So we will move these paper here. Remove these. And this is what your top will look like. And you put them together. So the front neck, the back neck gonna always be higher than the front neck, like this. The back neck gonna always be higher than the front neck. So we have our top here. So you have this. So we're gonna put them together now and make sure the armhole and match up, and make sure everything matching properly. So you see everything matching up properly. See, it come to the neck and it match up, the armhole match up, the hip line match up, right? So this is what we can get. So this is the back, gonna always be wider than the front, and this is the front. So we have front and we have back measurement. So this is what our top will look like. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, so the back will be cutting 2 back. All right, we'll be cutting 2 back. So let's measure, make sure we get our righted measurement. Make sure we get everything right. Make sure the back and the front is the same thing. So this is the back. This is the back, this is the front, and this is the back. So we have to come and match up this here. We're matching up that. We have to straighten this we have to straighten this one. Remember the back, we didn't cut off the extra piece of the back, we only cut it off for the front. So for do that, we need to get back our armhole curve. We need to focus back on the back. It's 1 inch. We need to straighten that because we don't want all this extra. If you want all the extra, you can leave it, but I don't need all that extra. So I'm going to measure up a line. Make sure my top line up because only the front piece I did cut off. Because remember I moved the back. And we're going to connect back this and get the extra out. If you want the extra, you leave it. But for me, I don't want. So we're going to draw in a line. I'm going to leave it for you. Let you see what you can do. So this would be my back. This would be the zipper allowance here. This would be the zipper allowance here. This would be the zipper allowance. So you can leave the zipper allowance and you can fold this back in like this. So I would leave it just in case I need to put a zipper allowance. I would leave this extra piece, but when I go to cut it, I won't need the zipper allowance. So this is what your back look like, right? Zipper. This is the zip. It's 2 inches I leave. 2 inches I leave. So this is the zip. This is if you're cutting on a fold, you fold this back like this, like that. So this is what your top look like, and I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. And in my next video coming up next week, we're gonna cut out this on both woven and both stretch fabrics. So I will see you soon. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to draft the bodice block with the dart, the both bust dart and the waist dart. So I hope I was able to make it simple for you guys and easy to follow. I don't like too much a difficult tutorial, as I tell you, and difficult sewing, so I try to make everything easy way so that it can be much easier and to follow. So I will see you in my next video. Now the next part of this video, which will be posted next week, every week I'll be posting a video, so next week I'll be posting the video on how to cut out this top with both woven and stretch fabric, to show you guys how this one pattern you don't have to do any adjustment to it so that to sew a stretch. So I will show you how to cut out both fabric, the stretch fabric and the non-stretch fabric, for work with the one pattern. So I will see you in my next video, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel, share my channel so that others could learn the same way you doing. So I'll see you next time, and hope you enjoy, and bye. Don't forget to hit the notification button. Bye bye.